Here's a mathematical truth that sounds impossible. If you have $100,000 invested, you're already one-third of the way to becoming a millionaire. Not 10% of the way there like most people think, but literally one-third. This isn't some motivational nonsense or wishful thinking. It's pure mathematics. And the surprising math behind this statement will completely change how you view wealth building. If this video helps you understand how money really works, smash that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. I'm Cave, and I make personal finance simple and easy to understand. Drop a comment and let me know your current investment balance. I read every single one. Most people think building wealth is like climbing stairs. Each dollar saved gets you exactly $1 closer to your goal. This linear thinking is exactly why 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. They look at their small investment account and think they'll be dead before they ever see real money. But compound interest doesn't work that way at all. Let me show you the real math. Imagine you invest $500 every month in a simple S&P 500 index fund. That's $6,000 per year, which is less than what most people spend on their car payment and insurance combined. Assuming an 8% average return, which is actually conservative compared to historical market performance, here's what happens. Year 1, you have about $6,200. Not life-changing. Year 5, you're sitting at around $37,000. Still not exciting. But here's where most people make the critical mistake. They get discouraged and either stop investing or start chasing get-rich-quick schemes because the progress feels too slow. But if you stick with it, something remarkable happens around year 11. You hit $100,000. At this point, you're generating about $8,000 per year just in returns. That's more than your entire first-year contribution, and this is where the surprising math kicks in. Here's why $100,000 equals one-third of the way to $1 million. From $100,000 to $200,000 takes only 6 more years. It took 11 years to build the first $100,000, but just 6 additional years to double it. You're now at $200,000 after 17 total years. Now here's the mind-bending part. That $200,000 represents the halfway point to $1 million. And since $100,000 is exactly half of $200,000, mathematically you were one-third of the way to your $1 million goal the moment you hit 6 figures. This isn't linear math where $100,000 equals 10% progress. This is exponential growth where your first $100,000 does one-third of the total work. Think about it like pushing a massive boulder up a mountain. The beginning is brutal. Every step requires enormous effort. But once you reach the top and that boulder starts rolling downhill, momentum takes over completely. During the next phase, your $200,000 grows to $400,000 in just 5 more years. Then $400,000 becomes $800,000 in another 4 years. Finally, you cross the $1 million threshold at the 30-year mark. By this point, your investments are generating over $80,000 annually in returns alone. You're making almost as much from your investments as most people earn at their jobs. Now I know what you're thinking. 30 years sounds like forever. But here's the reality check you need. 30 years from now, you'll either be wealthy or you'll be wondering what could have been. Time passes regardless of what you do with it. The question is whether you'll use compound interest in your favor or let it work against you through debt and inflation. Let's address the elephant in the room. What if you can't invest $500 per month? Fair question. Even if you can only manage $200 per month, you'll still hit $100,000 in about 16 years and reach millionaire status before you turn 65, assuming you start in your 20s. The key is starting now, not waiting for the perfect amount. I've seen people delay investing for years because they thought $100 per month wasn't worth it. Meanwhile, someone who started with $100 monthly contributions has already built a 6-figure portfolio. And what about market crashes? Yes, they happen. Your account will go down sometimes, and it might go down significantly. But here's what most people don't understand. Market downturns actually accelerate your wealth building when you're consistently investing. When prices drop, your monthly contribution buys more shares. When the market recovers, and it always has historically, those extra shares become incredibly valuable. The people who panic and sell during crashes are essentially buying high and selling low. The wealthy do the opposite. They keep buying when everyone else is selling, which is why they get wealthy in the first place. Here's another crucial point that separates successful investors from everyone else. As your account grows, investing becomes addictive in the best possible way. Instead of viewing your monthly contribution as a sacrifice, you start seeing it as the smartest thing you do with your money. This mindset shift leads to finding creative ways to increase your contributions. Maybe you invest your tax refund instead of buying something you'll forget about in 6 months. Perhaps you redirect money from lifestyle inflation when you get a raise. You might even start a side hustle specifically to generate more investment capital. When you see your money growing substantially each month without any effort from you, feeding that growth becomes a priority. This is why people who successfully reach $100,000 almost always become millionaires. They've developed the discipline, patience, and mindset required for long-term wealth building. The hardest part is behind them. But let's talk about the psychological impact of hitting 6 figures. There's something transformative that happens when you see $100,000 in your investment account. Suddenly, becoming a millionaire shifts from fantasy to realistic possibility. Before this point, your annual returns might be a few $1,000s. Nice, but not life-changing. Once you cross that threshold, you could see gains of $15,000 or even $25,000 in exceptional years. This is real money that could cover major expenses, fund significant opportunities, or accelerate your wealth building even further. You gain options that simply don't exist for people living paycheck to paycheck. Better job opportunities become available because you can afford to take calculated risks. Business ventures become possible because you have capital. Real estate investments open up because you can handle down payments. Most importantly, you develop what I call wealth momentum. Success breeds more success because you've proven to yourself that building wealth is possible. The same habits that got you to $100,000 make the journey to $1 million almost inevitable. Now, you might be wondering about specific investments. For most people, a simple total stock market index fund is perfect. You're not trying to beat the market, you're trying to match it. Over long periods, this strategy has created more millionaires than any other approach in history. The S&P 500 has averaged over 10% annually for decades, even accounting for major crashes, recessions, and world wars. Our 8% assumption is actually conservative. Could market performance change in the future? Possibly. But betting against continued human innovation and productivity is a losing proposition. The biggest mistake you can make is trying to get fancy with your investment strategy. Don't chase hot stocks, don't try to time the market, and don't let analysis paralysis prevent you from starting. The most successful investors are often the most boring ones. Here's your action plan. Open a brokerage account today if you don't have one. Set up automatic monthly contributions to a broad market index fund. Start with whatever amount you can afford, even if it's just $50 per month. The key is building the habit and letting time do the heavy lifting. Remember, reaching $100,000 isn't just another milestone. It's mathematical proof that you're 1/3 of the way to becoming a millionaire. The compound interest snowball is now rolling in your favor, but only if you give it the chance to work. Start investing consistently today, because 30 years from now, you'll either be thanking yourself or wondering what could have been. The math is on your side, but you have to take the first step. If this video opened your eyes to how wealth building really works, make sure to subscribe for more content that cuts through the financial noise and gives you the straight truth about money. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and drop a comment below with your biggest takeaway from this video. I genuinely want to know what resonated with you the most. Time and compound interest are the most powerful forces in finance, but they only work if you start now. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today.